What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Under-23's Road to Glory. In the video today, we will be announcing the Comments Premier League winner, and of course this has taken over 40 weeks to decide the winner, so whoever does win, massive congratulations, and anyone that did partake, I do really appreciate the support because, of course, comment, liking, all that stuff just helps the YouTube. So a massive shout out to you lot that are still supporting the videos. Of course, me and Cal, when we started this, we were never expecting it to make it this far. So I'm very happy and proud that we can say that we made it this far. And yeah, if you guys are still enjoying, please remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into the video for today.
And I hope you all are feeling wonderful today. I know that someone here is unfortunately feeling the complete opposite.
Yeah, guys, so just wanted to quickly kick the video off by saying I am in the absolute mud right now, hence the lack of streams. Yeah, I'm pretty much just obviously still going to record the videos and try and get them out for you guys, but just know that if I'm maybe look a bit bad or sound a bit bad or lacking a bit of energy, then you know why. We've all been ill before, so I'm sure you guys can relate to the pain I'm going through right now. But yeah, moving things on. Shout out to everybody that entered the final entry to the Comments Premier League in the last video, and we actually had only two people getting points, and of course it was double points as well. And it was Brian Gutierrez who got all 3 points, and only two people picked him, and they were the only two people that got points. And of course it was double points, so +6. And Freedom, actually his first ever comment, got 6 points, so fair play. But yeah, this is how the Comments Premier League is pretty much concluded then. So yeah, Mihai did not manage. Well, me and Mihai did not manage to catch up to Schmitter, which means he is the winner, and he will be winning himself a drum roll, please. He will be winning himself a boom, as you can see on screen here. My webcam is blocking some of them, but pretty much it's like a, what would you call this, Callum? Like a bundle.
Yeah,
Yeah, and under
yeah. With all the under-23 legends of the series.
yeah, essentially. So yeah, me and Cal thought it would be a good idea to give the winner almost like a piece of memorabilia from the series. So like, obviously these players coming over, Schmitter would have seen these guys in our gallery since episode 1 or whatever. Some of these players have featured for a very long time, or they've featured for not very long, but the period that they did feature, they done insane. Atkin definitely springs to mind when I think about that, because
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, he wasn't in for very long, but he done really well. And then you've got other players like Baena and Alberto Malera, who have been in the gallery for God knows how long. But yeah, so congratulations to Schmier for the Comments Premier League winner. That's 40 episodes of hard work, so fair play to him for that one. And we'll move things on to the results over the last game week, and I'll throw you guys to Cal to speak about the two squads.
yeah. So as you would have heard, Gutierrez was the main man of the game week, and surprise, the second team is the main team of the of the weekend as well. We'll start with the first team though. Little bit disappointing result from a few of them, especially Jack McGlynn. I mean, a lot of us picked him
Yeah.
for our player, and he got 38 off the bench, which is not ideal. Mosquera had a good game. Even though they conceded three, he still managed to score 49, which not too bad at all. And then the two forwards just not getting a decisive was quite annoying. But they did manage to get a nice bit of AA. So Mighton and Sealy done a decent job there, and then Sir Royce getting the clean sheet, which is a surprise. Montreal don't keep that many, so it's nice to see him doing well when they do manage to get that. But
Mhm.
the second team is where it all kicked off. Obviously, Brady not playing, it's to be expected. He's not going to feature for that American team anytime soon. But Malanda had an interesting game, I guess. Error leading to goal and a last man tackle. He kind of made up for himself there. Scored quite well considering that. Gutierrez with a goal and scoring 93. It's
Mad.
quite nice to see. He's I think that's one of the highest scores we've had for a few weeks, so
Yeah,
that's good. Just shame it wasn't in the first team. But I'm not going to dwell on
wouldn't.
selection choices.
I was gonna say he wouldn't have scored that if he was in the first team.
He probably wouldn't have played. Um, so there you go. I mean, big surprise scoreline anyway for me is Bodo losing to Sarpsborg.
Mhm.
Um, Daniel obviously not getting a decisive there, but still a big result and
Yeah.
definitely an interesting one to look at. And then Huang, I think he was actually a toss-up pick between him and someone else. I've forgotten who it was now. So he wasn't even guaranteed to be in the club or in the squad.
Yeah.
So good pick that he wasn't there. I mean, unfortunately, didn't get us a reward, but stopped him from getting relegated. I think, which is always a bonus. But yeah, it's a interesting game week. I'd say both lineups were fairly close to rewards there. Second lineup was only 16 points away, and that's with a four-man effort,
Mhm.
and the first lineup was only 35 points away. So slight changes which probably wouldn't have done. Um, so can't dwell on that. But yes, it's nice to see that players have done well for the ending of the Comments Premier League. That is.
Are you looking to become a Sorare manager? If so, I would really appreciate if you use the link down below in the description to sign up, because you'll be helping out a small creator like myself. And also the benefit that you guys get from that is if you buy 5 cards from the auction house or the instant buy market, then you'll receive £50 in-game credits. So it's been a quiet one on the account, and here's where I would usually show the business, or Cal would talk about the business. However, there has been no business to be had, obviously. So yeah, we're going to throw it straight over to rewards, as I believe we have a craft. Is it, Cal?
Yes, yeah, we've got a craft from the essence we got last game week, which with the game weeks being a bit messed up, couldn't be in the video, and it's just a bit of a mess, really, with the deadlines and stuff. So
Yeah,
this is a 100% MLS one. So hopefully we've been fairly lucky with the MLS
yeah,
crafts, or at least one of them.
that's true.
So
Yeah, and we will be
we're just hoping.
yeah, we will be talking about the updates that were released. Ooh, forward. On Sorare nearer to the end of the video. Ooh, I don't know this man. So, oh, is that 17? Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's 17-year-old, and he's at least come off the bench the last couple games.
damn. He
Let's have a quick look.
ties in well with the theme of the video. Obviously, being that
Yeah, of
quite
course.
young, maybe a guy to keep your eyes out on in the future. Yeah, let us
Yeah,
know. Let us know in the comments if you guys are, maybe we have some or MDK or some other people who are MLS experts. Perhaps you know a bit about this man for Real Salt Lake. I can't remember his name, but you
no,
can't find him.
neither
He's
can
he's,
I.
he's vanished.
Yeah, it's just not here.
Yeah, maybe
Not here at
refresh.
all.
Maybe refresh.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just have a
Yeah.
quick.
So yeah, we are going to talk about, well, why we chose to pull the craft and stuff a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, we thought we would. Oh, yeah, he. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. He a couple of appearances off the bench though, especially at that age,
Yeah.
quite young. But yeah, obviously you know we all want to craft Mbappe's, but realistically, it's probably going to be this most of the
Yeah.
time. But yeah, moving things on, we'll quickly show you guys our lineups for the weekend or for the next game week. And of course, because the timings are a bit awkward, this has already been submitted. And of course, there's no comments Premier League on this video, so don't need to worry too much about, I guess, deadlines and things like that. So, yep, this is the main team, and I think oh yeah, is so. Oh, okay, that's so confusing with Brady. He has. Is he still with America?
Yes. Yeah. So they won their game yesterday. well, as recording yesterday, against Guatemala. So he is actually in the final against Mexico. So he's not going to play at all again. So it's
Ah.
another four-man effort for the under 23s.
Mhm.
Um, but also with the timing, a little bit awkward. We have to do an all-star team because Sorois is now actually aged over 23. But for the sake of not wanting to spend a few pound on a goalkeeper
Yeah.
for an episode that has no
Commons Premier
um,
League. Yeah.
Comments Premier League, it just didn't seem like a need for it. So we have got another lineup for the All Stars. Hopefully that does well. The players are decent. It's not like a throwaway lineup at all. I mean, Tapioca might not play, but that's not too bad. But yeah, we got to put the main players
Yeah.
in the main under 23 lineup.
I'm liking
Just
uh, I'm liking Petrovic against LA. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, especially LA at the moment are a little bit hit and miss. They could either go out and win this game like 2-1, 3-2, or they could get absolutely hammered 5-0. It's complete uh, coin flip with them. So hopefully for our sake, Viti will do well in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting week with all the deadlines and stuff. It's yeah, I was a bit confused doing the lineups when I couldn't see Sorois at all. I was like, well, this is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then had
Awkward.
to check that.
Awkward timing. Our channel has finally become a partner with YouTube, and that means that you boys can become a member on the channel. How you would do that is by clicking the join button down below, and you can see all the exclusive perks to becoming a member on this channel. Not only that, but you would be massively helping and supporting a small creator in myself, making more videos like this one for you guys to enjoy. So I would really appreciate if you did join our membership down below. Thank you. Let's get on with the video. So San Diego keep on having their success, and I don't know if you managed to catch the game this time, Cal. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch the full thing, but I did watch the highlights of it. Yeah, again, MLS it's 3:30 in the morning for me. I'm not getting up for it. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it. But it was a decent game. An odd game. A few mistakes from both teams cost them. I believe the new kid who started, Manu Duar, I want to say his name is, had an absolute generational stinker for his debut. Um, Error leading to goal, and it was a horrific misplaced pass to Musa, and you know Musa's going to score if he's given the opportunity. So that's a bit of an oversight. But then again, a penalty for San Diego. They scored in the 96th minute. It's very very fortunate, but it does sort of fill me with a bit more confidence because when things aren't necessarily going their way, they're still managing to get the results.
Yeah, for sure.
And with getting the results, they did actually help us hit the third hot streak as well, which
Nice.
is the first time this season. Yeah, because didn't get it before, missed out on the MLS comp
Yeah.
for the hot streaks, but
I forgot
got
what
it
that.
now. So
Yeah, I was trying to think what that was called, but yeah, that would have been good if we managed to get there in time, eh? But yeah, I think the well yeah it was I think we picked pretty well, to be fair. Having a look at the squad now. Um,
I wouldn't have put anyone else in the first team,
yeah, pretty good picking
even
from us.
like oh maybe Lozano. Like he came off the bench. I thought he would, but
Not
I
worth the
didn't think
risk.
he'd start.
Yeah, it's not
And
worth the
Alosky
risk.
was starting,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's
so
only like a 4 point difference.
and hit the
It's
streak
not
as
the
well,
worst.
so can't go wrong. And yeah, looking
No.
forward then, San Diego, what's their next game? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's
Ooh,
Houston at home.
Houston. Yeah, I see that. That's going to be pretty good one for San Diego. I reckon they'll fancy their chances in this one. Houston not doing
Yep.
too well recently, so yeah, this is the lineup that we've gone with for the Houston team, and you can see pretty much the same except Lozano for Ilioski, right?
Yeah, yeah. Lozano's going to start now. And it was a 50-50 actually. I was still debating putting Alosky in the first team just because he's been
Been
that
doing
good.
well. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I thought I'd go back to the roots, go back to the original team
Hmm.
that started the season well.
Yeah, for sure. So if we hit the streak again, or what is like they got? What is the
Cool.
streak this time? I haven't looked.
So the next streak is $40 plus 20 in credits,
Damn. Okay,
and it's
so
for a score of 410.
410 is the goal then, I guess, for this weekend. And yeah, that is all of our MLS sort of things rounded up. And of course, linked in the description down below, you can find all of our spreadsheets for those of you guys that want to have a little look in more detail about return on investment and that sort of stuff. You can have a little look in the description to find that. And moving on to our final talking point then of the episode. Now, I will say disclaimer: time of recording this, this blog has come out today, and like I've already said in the video, I'm pretty sick, so I've like avoided my computer at all costs. And I am actually just going to throw you guys over to Cal, who has actually read these updates and has way more of an idea about what is happening than me, because of course, yeah, I'm just I'm out the loop right now. So go on, Cal, I'll let you take it away with maybe some of the key points to take away from the latest blog.
Yeah, no, definitely. I will say not read absolutely everything because it is a really long blog post, but I've read the key bits that I thought were worth reading. So starting off with the full in season lineup then. So we've got the originals that we know about, the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, MLS. They did release the Pro League and the Eredivisie as well. But the new one they announced today was League One, which was almost expected. It was one of the big leagues that they've already got all the teams of, but just not a comp for. So it made sense for them to go for that. So that's a nice looking lineup. They have missed out on Syria, but they have explained that, I think, on Twitter. Um, Pretty much they just can't get some of the teams, so they can't make a full comp of it. But you can still use them in champion, and I want to say it was challenger as well. I think they said, but it might just be champion. I'll need to double check that. It's a little bit of an interesting concept there. But talking about challenger
Mm.
and also contender, they have brought them back. So it looks like the I'll say outrage or like the uproar from before is when they got rid of these two comps, which everyone really wanted, because it gets rid of like 50% of the platform if
Cards,
you get rid of
yeah.
these. So it's good to see them back. They have tweaked it with the Eredivisie and Pro League now being league specific comps. So they have brought forward the Austrian Bundesliga and the Scottish League
Hmm.
into Challenger now. So that should make Challenger a lot more competitive and also give some breathing space for some of the contender stacks where you're
Yeah,
not playing against Celtic 24/7. So it's a good thing for everyone really because the people with Celtic stacks are now just going to get better rewards in theory, and you're still going to get the same points from that stack. So
yeah,
that's fine, but it also means that contender players are not sweating every game week when Celtic managed to go and win 5-0 or something stupid.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
a bonus there.
that always like deterred me from wanting to ever go anywhere near contender, because I just feel like, yeah, I don't know, like in my eyes anyway, the SPFL was always the best league to have. Well, you know, pretty much Celtic or Rangers or whatever were always the best cards to have in there, and they just felt like, because of the way the league works, it's just always going to be the best teams to have or stacks to have, because Celtic, 9 times out of 10, they're going to win the league, aren't they? So, yeah, pretty. Yeah, that's why I've never been enticed to play contender purely for that reason. But maybe with them moving into challenger now, it make contender a bit more fun to try and play, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely one to look out for, um, just because it's got a little bit more feasibility now for the majorities of people. I will just mention it does say it in the blog post there is one team missing out of League One, and that is FC Metz. Now, I don't want to be horrible to FC Metz, but that's not gonna it's not gonna worry anyone that you can't buy their
Yeah.
players straight away. They will be added
Okay.
at a later date. They just didn't have the
Yeah.
everything put together for the start of the season. So if anyone watching is wondering where they are or why the cards don't come out with early access, then
Yeah.
you can you
Yeah.
can rest assured they will be coming soon.
And speaking of dates, these are the the early access launch calendar that you can find on Sorare in the blog as well. So for those guys that haven't seen it, there you go, it's on screen. These are just when I think these are like when the cards are going to get released, right? But
It
obviously,
is, yeah.
yeah, obviously we knew it's going to be around about the same time when the leagues are starting. With that being said, stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be producing a lot of content around just scouting stuff for these leagues and things starting. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, we haven't read too much into the division battle, have we?
I have no idea. Oh, no, I do. I'm being completely stupid. So, the division battles is the exact same as what it was in MLS. So if you remember at the start of the MLS in season, there was no divisions per se. It was whoever gets in like the top 20% will go into Div 1 and then
Oh
Div
yeah.
2 and then Div
Oh
3.
yeah.
It's the exact same.
Yeah, 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 got you,
Um,
got you, got you. I was so confused for a minute there. I was like, "What?" But yeah, yeah, I get you. It was the first. So this is just for the first game week then.
I think it might be beyond the first game week.
Oh, okay.
Because it's well, no, it's the first game week that each league is playing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
as you can see on the calendar here, Pro League's the first one. So that league will be sorted, and then
Yeah.
all the other ones will follow when they play their games. So
And then
yeah,
we've got
sorry, yeah, a bit confused myself.
no,
So
it's okay. And then we've got hot streaks for every comp. It looks like right by now,
yeah,
except under 23. So
yeah. So it's just in season comps.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, there is an in season
How
challenger and contender.
how are they not? How is there not an in-season comp for under 23? That's so mind blowing to me.
So this is the one thing I've picked up on this blog is whenever they talk about under 23, they always put classic beforehand. They don't just say the under 23 comp, it's always classic under 23s.
Mm.
So I'm not sure if anything will change.
Uh,
So
I,
it's
it's got to be one of. I just think, like, still in my mind, even though it's not included here, I just still think there is going to be one. Even though I don't think I'll fully believe they won't do it until the season fully starts and they don't have it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm just so convinced that I just don't understand why they wouldn't. But yeah, I mean, clearly, yeah, I don't know. Clearly, I'm not thinking straight, but yeah. So yeah,
No,
that's the hot streak stuff that you guys can, of course. Well, for those of you guys that played MLS, you know that's pretty simple. Score well, hit the streak, try to do it as many times in a row as possible. And then yeah, we have the prize pool breakdowns as well. Me and Cal quickly had a read over it, and we noticed that essentially Division 1 is the place to be because we worked out that you win almost £1,000 more for winning Division 1 next season than this season that's just gone. However, the other looks like that money has been taken from the other divisions. Um, so yeah, pretty much essentially it looks like Division 3 and Division 2 look worse than this year, but Division One looks way better. So just gives you more incentive to push for the top division, which I don't know if I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. To be fair, I mean I guess it makes sense. But obviously only time will tell with that one. I think. And then yeah, the final real bit to note was the crafting stuff. So Cal, I'll let you take it away with that.
yeah, confusing to say the least. So
Yeah.
the whole like essence system is being changed slightly, not like majorly, but instead of now being 20 essence for a tier 5 and then 50 essence and so on and so forth, your essence balance as of the 15th of July will be multiplied by 20. So now to craft anything, you need 1,000 essence, but you should be able to get essence a lot easier now.
Mm.
And the only reason they've done this, from what they've said, is that with all the bonuses with sealing players and everything else, it made it such a headache with the old structure to actually give the right amount of essence or rewards out. So they just had to expand it, and therefore they can just it makes their lives easier, and it should also make ours probably the same. We're not really going to see a difference. You're not going to necessarily lose essence, um, but it is a little bit weird that now, 20 essence for a craft is now not even half of a craft for the next season.
Mhm.
But you've also got a 1 in 10 chance of a card instead of a almost guaranteed tier 5. So at least you've got more chance to get a better card
Yeah.
than before. So it's all up and down. I think it's a good change. You can pick players that you kind of want. Like you can unveil their league. I think their position as well, and some other stats. So it gives you a little bit more
Mm.
control over what you're crafting instead of a lucky draw and getting players that you don't want. And also something to mention that I don't know if they've put in here. They might have done, I can't remember. If you don't want one of the players you've got, you can trade it back in for essence. I highly doubt you're going to get the full amount of essence back, but
Yeah.
um,
Almost
it'll be
certainly not.
something. Yeah, it'll be something,
Yeah.
at least, so you're not just stuck with a 50p card that's not going to sell.
Yeah. I think well, essence. I think no matter what, essence was always gonna change because yeah, I think it's weird. Obviously, Sora's getting a lot of stick online for constantly changing and moving the goalposts, but I think it's like valid for some of the things that they do, like the hate that they get or the criticism that they get. But I feel like this is one, yeah, like you said, I don't think this is one that should be necessarily hated. I feel like it's more of a maybe a step in the right direction. And to be honest, if you just like if you make a product and then just stay with whatever you've made, 9 times out of 10, you're not improving as like a I guess as a game or as a you know what I mean as a company. You're not taking steps to improve. That's kind of like a red flag almost. So we always knew Essence needed improving. So it's good to see that they are trying to improve it or make steps to improve it. Because on the flip side, imagine they just didn't touch it, then everyone would just be like, it kind of leaves a bit of a, I don't know, maybe a bit of like a, oh, they could have done this or they could have done this. Well, they have changed it, they have done this, but then it feels like they're just getting backlash for change and stuff. So yeah. It's interesting. Of course, let us know in the comments what you guys think about the essence system. And I think that's pretty much rounds up. You know, obviously there's other little points in the blog which you guys can check on the website, but I think that pretty much rounds up the main parts. Other than I guess sealing your cards, which of course we've talked about already on the channel. So yeah, of course if you guys want to see this vlog or blog, sorry, just sign into Sorare, have a little look at the latest notifications. So there you have it, boys. There is the video concluded today. Like I said in the video, I'm feeling a little bit rough, so hopefully it didn't come across too bad, and hopefully the video quality was still sort of there or thereabouts. Of course, you know, doing 40 odd episodes, eventually I'm gonna get ill and it's gonna be a bit rough. So yeah, I apologise if it, you know, maybe it hindered the quality of the video or whatever. Maybe a little bit of lack of energy, but I'm sure you guys have all been ill once and that you know what it's like. You're just like just what's the right word? Struggling just to like eat food or something, you know, just a basic thing. So let alone trying to make videos and still upload them for you guys. With that being said, yeah, do really appreciate all the support. So if you could leave a like, that would mean a lot to me. Of course, subscribe if you're new. We'll catch you guys in a future video. Peace.